What's up? What's up? What's up? How you folks feeling? What's going on? Thanks for having me, Chris. How you feeling tonight?
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's like the cracker after 9 o'clock, and
Word. I'm an artist. I've been doing artwork since I was like 3 or 4. I'm happy to say the first time I had my name published in a periodical or newsprint was I'm from California. So my mom entered me into a coloring contest, and the grand prize was tickets to Disneyland. So when I was like 7, I won those tickets to Disneyland for a coloring contest, and they put the little coloring thing that was in the paper in the it was called the Pasadena Star News. I don't really remember which year it was, but that was the first time that happened. And then ever since then, I just always kind of stuck with art, coloring, drawing. Over the years, I played with different mediums: chalk, pastel, pencil, charcoal. And I'm starting to find and narrow it down that I really just like painting a lot. So mostly I'm doing a lot of paintings, but I'm still keeping up with other mediums too to stay familiar with them. And like you, I'm very much into advocating for mental health awareness and mental health rights, and for people who suffer with really like severe mental illnesses and all that kind of stuff. Because everybody is going through something. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's going through something. That's just life.
yes, so shout out to everyone out there that may have a um, difference for their mental state, and we're going to, if you want to see more videos of I and Artman, one way is Artman. How can we find you?
Okay, so right now it's ArtMan99 on TikTok, and I just started a new Artman page. It's ArtMan99 underscore two, the number two. You can also find me on Instagram. I haven't been doing a whole lot of Instagram lately, but I've been starting to do more of it because it's just fun. Like making whatever is fun. It's cool. I have like no following on Twitter, but I still get pleasure in just like tweeting something every now and then. So you can find me on Twitter also at Artman99, and I'll just tweet random stuff whenever I'm feeling like it. And Facebook doesn't have really much going on. That might change. And
I have
yeah,
mixed, I have mixed feelings about Facebook because
I do too.
I'll just share this about generally. It's one of the top three, and half the population has Facebook.
Yeah, yeah, right on, right on. Yeah, I don't
It's
know why, but I don't know, something with Facebook, it just never really vibed with me very well. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, what it is that because of our age, and we're dominantly still young. It's
Yeah,
just because it's not as cool as it was before.
right, right,
Because
right.
like there's grandmas and our parents, for example,
Yeah, yeah,
using it now, and
yeah,
whereas it leads us to shift more to, like, for example, TikTok and IG, where a lot of these, or Twitter and Snapchat, where a lot of the more younger crowds are utilizing it.
yeah, definitely. So Snapchat I never used. I still don't use Snapchat. I just heard about something called Spoon, and I just started a Discord. Nothing going on much on there yet, but that will change. And yeah, so right now it's Twitter, IG, TikTok. Discord is new. Facebook will probably get some more stuff on there. I don't see myself going to Snapchat at all, though. I don't see it happening. Mostly it's TikTok. I have the most fun on TikTok. Shout out to all of the workout gurus and exercise fitness people. You guys really inspired me to keep on like exercising, working out. Pandemic messed me up, man. I used to have a sick, intense workout routine. And then when pandemic happened, like I love swimming. So the swimming pools and everything closed down. And I'm still trying to get back to the pool next to my house just to go swimming again. Love yoga, love Pilates, the mat workout mostly, body weight training, static holds, love that kind of stuff. So speed walking, power walking, jogging, running, longboarding. So yeah, shout out to every fitness person out there.
Wow, I didn't even I had no idea that whole list that you just shared of that you're interested in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. That's all right, man. You're gonna get to know me a little better, bro. You gotta get to know me a little better.
So everyone, hit a like if you want us to be collaborating more often,
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
and let this be a reminder that just because we may look like we have mental problems because we're different, we still know how to balance our mindset through channeling other things for our body, just like all of these exercise things that ArtMan99 was sharing.
Yeah,
it's all about that balance. Maybe we're too up here because we've got a very overstimulated brain. We have this creativity, this capacity that can't be limited in a single job because it's so active and so creative and just so spontaneously different.
Exactly. Facts. Definitely facts. Yeah, something I love listening to podcasts, and I want to start my own. I know you have one, Mind of a Mutant. Are you still calling it Mind of Mutant, or you changed it to something else?
So this is my answer to you and to our
audience
and our viewers. What I'm doing is first Facebook and YouTube, because that I know most people use first.
Yeah.
And then everything else. So eventually I'm going to be going back to Spotify, because this platform, ArtMan99, you can also save it as just the audio.
Yeah.
And then plant it onto, for example, your podcast, say that be Spotify, because I just kept running into a lot of people that don't use Spotify. So I'm going by what are the two most people that use more often.
Yeah. I did that because someone had told me a long time ago, man, get up with Spotify, and I still don't have one. So I got to put that on my list of things to do. Also, find me on freaking YouTube at Foggy Nights. I'm kind of behind on some uploading. My uploading is behind, but nonetheless, I love sharing and telling and voice acting horror stories. So, and you helped with the idea of wanting to start a podcast, and I'm thinking about right now how I want to go about doing that. So YouTube is another one right now. Foggy Nights on YouTube.
And then there's the numbers. That's, what is it, 30?
Oh, hold on, let me see. It's
I just wrote on the description. It's Foggy Nights. I think it's 3079.
Yeah, that's right. YouTube just assigned me that, actually. I didn't even pick that. I saw that one day, it just popped up.
Yes, so everyone, just a reminder, because this video will be on YouTube, and go to Foggy Nights 3079 so you can get ArtMan99's YouTube content.
Yeah, and I'll get back on that for you guys. So if you go on there and you see it's been like months ago that I did it, bear with me, all right? It's New York City. There's a lot going on. Like, I still have to keep a real job, you know.
And he's a man of many talents. He's working on so many other projects, and
you know, yeah. And so is my man Chris here. This guy is always busy. If it was not for Chris, you wouldn't even see me right now. He knows how much I like doing faceless stuff, and he freaking just schmoozed me on to StreamYard here, and now here I am, still trying to hide a little, but you know, whatever. It's all good. I'm having a good time.
I got you at the smallest screen that I can. So it only depends on how big the screens are, like the TV
yeah, bro,
at home that people are.
Word, man, word. I'm feeling it. It's awesome. It's cool. You got anything you want to add or throw in here? How's Florida? Or where are you in Florida or Ohio or? You know what? It doesn't even matter. Who knows? It doesn't.
Florida.
You're in Florida?
I'm just thinking Ohio, and most people would never confuse the two. So I'm like, Ohio.
You know why? Because I was thinking, why did I say that? People don't need to know where he is. Like, I'm sorry.
No, people do, because I get people asking me, where are you? Because I still get a lot of people from New York asking for me, and I'm like, I've been calling people with my new number, and they're like, oh, I didn't even know this was you, and oh, I didn't even know you moved to Florida. So
right. Oh yeah, okay, all right, cool. So you're cool with that. All right, cool. Because I do notice some people online, they're like, I'm not telling you where I am. I'm not telling you where I live, which is respectable, but I'm not, like, I'm in New York. I'm fine with it.
Try finding me in Florida. I mean, it's a big state.
Exactly. You got things like, what, 10 million people here or something, or 8 million? It's good luck, you know. I do want to share this painting, though, I've been working on for a little while. It's been a little minute, but
do you want me to change the screen so I can put you full screen so you can get a nice close up?
Nah, it's okay. I'm all right. That's good enough for them. You can see I'm working on stuff, you know. That's it. This painting is probably like half my height, so And I'm sitting on my bed right now. So the fact that I'm sitting on my bed and it's at my head right here, this is my right hand.
The
That,
size of it.
yeah, it's a pretty big painting. So it's taken me a little bit, but those are some clouds, nice little flower. It's like a COVID painting, basically.
What I would
Yeah.
like is that hopefully the next time we're together, it'll be completed, and we'll use that as like a link, so share with us where we can buy your art pieces, your creations.
So right now everything I'm painting is going to Artsy because I work with one gallery, it's Fountain House Gallery. And then I actually have some other side galleries that I work with, but I don't really share a whole lot of that because I just want to maintain a little privacy.
Okay.
And I'm working on getting a website up and going where I sell candles that I make, and I want to get some merch going. And the most expensive thing on there is going to be obviously the artwork. Like, you know, I've been selling artwork since I was like 19. So someone just commissioned me the other day for something they wanted me to paint, and the price they threw out was like $50, and I'm like, dude, my paintings sell for like over $400 and up, sometimes even like 700 and up. So I'm not doing any $50 stuff. But depending on sometimes what a person wants, I usually it boils down to the size of the work and how much detail. The smaller and the less detail, the cheaper or the less expensive it will be. The bigger and the more detail, because it's going to be more paint, more time, and all of that, the more expensive it's going to be. So I'm
Pause.
always looking for people who are art enthusiasts, art collectors, art buyers, people who like art, interested in art, because they're the ones who really seem to be passionate about having something to put on their wall. And I love like getting in their heads and knowing, like, tell me your favorite colors, what's your vision, what do you want, what do you need. Like, it's totally a business for me, and I love that. So I'm excited about this one that I just picked up. And today someone was emailing me asking me to paint something for their fireplace. So it's fun. It's cool. I'm enjoying it.
Yes, I want to add to two things that you said. One that was valuable. One was you knew yourself, you know your self worth, you know like your standard price, and
Yeah.
you didn't go below. And this is a reminder of for everyone out there not to sell yourself short.
Facts.
If you're struggling as a independently or self-employed, and like this is me talking as a health coach, everyone, and as a motivational speaker, know your price and no if ands or buts. That's your standard, and that's what
Word.
ArtMan99 just communicated.
Facts. 100%. You got to know your worth. You got to know your talent. You got to know your skill. And I would suggest whatever you do, when you're going to put your heart into it, make sure that you do the best possible job you can do, because that person is becoming a client, a word of mouth, a future business partner, and you know they're going. A good experience is going to keep stuff coming toward you. So just be as professional as you can. Communicate with your buyer, your client, whatever it's for, and always keep good communication. But don't let people take advantage of you either. Yeah. So, but that, for sure, know your worth, and you are worth it. For facts, know your worth.
And then the second thing that I wanted to add that you pointed out that was very valuable as well was you interacting with other artists and knowing that they will appreciate your pieces better, and then also knowing that that's where they're more likely to buy it at a better price. And
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not trying to get over on people or try to take advantage. But at the same time, I do know my worth, and I want them to be satisfied. And I often let people know too, if you're having a struggle financially, maybe it would be better to simplify the piece you want me to do for you, or I can take payment plans. I do payment plans. I take deposits. I do payment plans. You don't have to break the bank. I don't want you starving. I'm not starving, so.
and this is a reminder for everyone else out there to collaborate with people that you're doing these things with. Like I am collaborating with other health coaches so that we can amplify our impact to helping others with health. And same thing with here, like on this platform, Mutant Minds, all of these wonderful creative individuals that are misunderstood, that are misunderstood. seen differently, and we're called so many things: misfits, outcasts, different.
Stigma. I like to say that you're absolutely right with every term you use, but the stigma is crazy. I actually work with a guy who comes to work drunk, drinks on the job, and that's all I'll say. But my point is, if someone's trying to make you feel like there's something wrong with you for getting the help that you need to be a better man, a better woman, a better person, a better mom, dad, father, whatever, don't let them make you feel that way. Because to deal with yourself takes a lot of strength, and it's a strength a lot of people are not strong enough to admit they don't have. So we're stronger than a lot, you know?
Yes, and let this message be fuel for you to unite with others, unite with us. Come to our
We're
channels,
facts.
become our subscribers, like our contacts, share your comments, and that way we know that you're out there, that so we can also support you and
Yeah.
others with those similar challenges or struggles that they may go through, because it's hard doing this alone.
It definitely is. I know a guy on TikTok who a year ago when I found him, he was doing a lot of content, and he does a lot of cosplay for well, who's the Marvel superhero? They made movies of him. He has like the red and black suit, really foul mouth. Oh my God, Deadpool. And sadly, someone in his family unalived themselves, and he's been struggling ever since then. And he made a few TikToks on that. And every time I see him on, I just try to give him as much support as I can. So we're definitely here for you. You don't have to, go through it alone. We may not be able to be there for you in the physical sense, but we can remind you that it's a time and it's going to pass. There's waves in life. They go up and down, and you don't have to ride them alone. You don't. So let's help each other get through this thing together. And through social media, we're totally doing that. Like, dude, you're in Florida. I'm in New York. I haven't seen you since you've been in Florida, and now I'm seeing you here. This is. I was scared of social media before, but now I realize it's nothing to be afraid of. It's how you use it. It's how you use it that makes it either a benefit or a harm. So it's good to see you, bro.
Yes, I'm glad we're riding this wave together.
Yeah, man.
And let this be an example of us utilizing social media for our business. And what we have to offer for others, whether that be creatively, motivationally, etc.
Word, right on, 100%. Couldn't say it better, man. I'm excited to get into some of these videos.
Yes. So we're going to cover some videos with also ArtMan99 also does some voices, and so let's just get right into it. So,
all right, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, so this one I sent to you, and I was saying earlier how I actually watched this live the other night, and this doll's head, it moves twice, and he doesn't even notice it. It's creepy. I like this channel because there was a shadow person in one of his lives, and everybody in the chat was going crazy, just saying like, we saw it. I love watching the horror paranormal stuff. It's pretty creepy and it's fun at the same time. So remember at the beginning of the video? Oh, here she comes. She looks dead right there. Look at her. Look how she's standing there. That would freak me out if I was there. I'd be like, why are you standing there like that? Like, don't come from behind a wall and just look how she's walking.
I was immediately thinking of like Annabelle, because
right,
and the Jigsaw doll when I saw that thing.
Right there, you go. Yeah. Now watch when they show the doll's head again. Look, do you see how it's turned? It wasn't like that before. Did you see at the beginning? It wasn't like. Look at her. Crazy, bro. Crap is crazy. It's facing the other way. Its head was going the opposite way when they first showed it. Can you fast forward back? Like, can you pull the cursor back?
I think this is the cursor.
Yeah, go back some. See, look right there. You see how it's to the look. See, yes, now go back. Yes. Now see that? There you go. Look at that.
I tell you, I have a cousin, like, she doesn't like going to basements by herself.
No.
And I'm like, why are you scared? And I'm thinking she must have watched movies related to this.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people. I'm into the creepy and the horror and stuff like that, but you better give me the brightest freaking light you got if I'm going down in some place like that. I want to know where every light switch is. I want to know everything. No, don't
Plus,
send.
plus,
Yeah,
this also reminds me of the doll from
and
Goosebumps.
she's
You remember?
holding it. Ah, God. It does look like the Goosebumps doll. It does. You
What's the
remember
do
that
you
story?
do you
And
remember the name of that character? Because I briefly remember it.
I don't remember, but it is it is a doll you use for ventriloquist. Blah blah blah. Yeah,
Ventriloquism. Yeah, that's a
yeah. There you
mouthful.
go. Yeah. So this guy always goes to. It's a paranormal channel, and they go ghost hunting and searching in haunted places and places where there's paranormal
Maybe
activity. Yeah.
mm, I'm trying to
So
see
yeah, I,
if I can like click their hmm, excuse me, folks. I'm learning how to do this.
yeah, we're new to this. Be you got to be a little patient with me and my man Chris here.
My first time doing a screen share with the wonderful ArtMan99.
I do what I can.
And
I do what I can.
like because you're talking about it, I'm thinking like maybe I go to here like to the
You know
to
what? Maybe
see
we
more.
should. Yeah, we should. I wish TikTok would make a way for you to click on the TikTok and then at with the person with the content maker's name to just click on it right there. Go back to my messages that I sent to you.
Bet.
All right, and then
I'm guessing down.
I think it was up actually. It um, was it? I think the first one I sent you. Yeah, going up.
So this is the one we just had.
That's one we just had. Yeah. Click on it. Click on that one. One we just watched, or this.
Oh,
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's try with. We can try with this one. This is spirits and okay. So over here too. I think it's your left. Yeah. Spirit talkers. The click on their content photo or
oh,
their logo.
wait, yeah.
There
I
you
see.
go. Yeah,
Okay,
right there.
whoops. You know what? I'm not used to using TikTok on a laptop. I'm used to on our
I'm not
phones.
either, bro. You're totally fine. I'm not either. This is the first time I've even seen it on a computer. I always use my phone, so this is helping me too. Um,
Because we're too busy with our lives doing other things and just being on TikTok.
seriously, and the phone is always there. You just walk around with it and stuff, you know. So yeah, and now there's all their videos and their content and stuff. And the same thing with the other video that we just looked at too. Um, so a lot of their uploads lately have been of them doing the lives. Not this, well, this one too, but the one before is a lot of lives that they've done where they're investigating haunted places. Um, are you into paranormal things or like haunted
Which one
stuff?
can I pick? So maybe if you watch.
Okay,
So
so scroll
yes
down.
and no. Like all right. So
Yes and no. Okay.
I'll play one. I'll play one while I'm sharing with you because like my stepfather would watch Ghost Hunters and he would sleep with Ghost Hunters on and leave the TV on and it'd be like 1 or 2 in the morning and I'm like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this guy doing?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I fall asleep to Nuke's top five. I do. I fall asleep to Nuke's top five sometimes. There's another channel that I've been watching for years. It's called Top Fives, and I'm sure they're from Britain, United,
Oh,
the UK somewhere. And
what's
I
Nuke's
fall
top five?
So it's paranormal videos and really creepy, disturbing, like demonic crap of things and living in houses, attics, basements, crawling under the beds, places haunting like mom and pop shops, like straight up demon looking crap. And I don't know why, but I fall asleep to it. So your stepdad's not that weird to me. He's not. Um,
You know you're reminding me of. So I was seeing a neighbor. She was this girl that was so into horror, and I learned from her that sometimes what we're watching is we're preparing our psyche, our mindset, in case we would run into those scenarios. So,
well,
like
you
for
know what?
example,
Yeah, go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
like to prepare, like what would we do in those circumstances in order to like, so it's like observe, like how we learn by observing others. So that's
Yeah,
like observational learning. What would we do if like a killer, or like we were fearful of our lives, and how to protect ourselves, as an example of like why some
yeah.
people love watching horror. Um,
So yeah, I was gonna say, funny you say that, because I have had my own personal experiences with paranormal, ghost, whatever you want to call it, and I think that's what makes me interested. What makes me interested in it is that, and I used to wonder, why do I have an interest in these things? Why do I find it fascinating? And I would think before I heard a content maker say it, but it is because most of them have said that it has to do with some experience they had personally. And I've heard more than one of them say that. So now I feel like I have a clarity of why. Because before I would be into these things, I've had my own experiences. There's a place in Louisville, Kentucky, when I lived there. It's called Waverly. It's one of the most top rated haunted places in America. And I went there on a day tour and on a night tour. I can testify, bro, the place is haunted. No doubt. The place is definitely haunted. Place is definitely haunted. It was a tuberculosis hospital and a sanitarium, and it's abandoned, and now it's like a tourist place, and it sits up on a hill, and it's deep in the woods, or on a like a little mountain in Louisville, off Dixie Highway, and you would not see it really in the summer, maybe in the winter, from where it is from Dixie Highway, which is a main highway, a main road. And in the summer, when the trees are full of leaves and stuff, you're not going to see it. But it's haunted, bro. It's haunted, no doubt.
I believe you, because don't they have a show called Witches of Waverly?
Yes, they do, and yes, they do. There's also a TikTok channel called Waverly. There's a couple of them. So yeah, it's definitely haunted.
And I want
It's
to piggyback off of what you're saying, because you were able to relate to what I was sharing in terms of sometimes we tend to watch certain things in order to learn, because of by observational learning. I know when I was a kid that I was picked on because I was the youngest boy in the block. All these other. I basically just wanted to get down, be down. I wanted to be one of the cool, with
right.
with the
Yeah.
older boys in the block, because
You want to be one of the cool kids.
yeah, and I had
Yeah,
no
I feel
one
you.
to play with. So
Yeah.
and I would usually come home crying because they'd hurt me or whatever,
Yeah.
and it also led me later on to discover Dragon Ball Z, and then that's what ended up like part of my childhood and loving it, and then nowadays I'm here on my own shadow boxing, just practicing combinations just in case, because I'm just
Yeah.
used to groups. There's always going to be a group. They act like
Pardon
they're
me.
tough, but that person, when those people in groups are by themselves,
Yeah.
oftentimes they're cowards or losers, or I was going to say pussies, but I don't know if YouTube will allow that. Oh well, I already said it.
Too late. Cat's out of the bag. Or you know what? You could say it that way, or maybe they're superheroes waiting to just, get their name. I mean, that's how I always thought about it. Look at Spider-Man, outcast, Superman, outcast, Batman, not one of the cool kids, yet wealthiest dude in town. Look at the X-Men. Professor X gave them a home. My thing was X-Men. And that's what I was messaging you earlier, was if you look at all of the Marvel heroes, dude, they're all disturbed. All of them are disturbed, man. Like every last one of them. Storm is claustrophobic. Wolverine has PTSD. Rogue just wants to get laid and touch somebody, and she can't unless she's gonna like kill him or something. You know what I mean? Freaking like Gambit wants it so bad, but he knows he ain't gonna even make it to the end. Like facts, If it wasn't for Professor X, and then he used his cerebral thing to find like these mutants that felt outcast and like they didn't have a home and they had nowhere else to go. Dude, I still love X-Men to this day. I still watch that crap. Cyclops. I was going to say Cyclops and his brother, daddy issues. Straight up like dad issues. They thought their father died. He didn't. He comes back to find them. He shoved them off into space to protect them or something like that. And he comes back looking for them, and Cyclops is giving him the hardest time, Like, so a lot of fathers don't come back after they're gone. So that's something else I like about Stan Lee. He didn't just do Marvel comics and superheroes. He gave you characters that were relatable and you could understand, you know?
These are great explanations of these characterizations that you were able to share about X-Men that I wasn't aware of.
Oh
And
yeah.
and what I want to piggyback off of is that I understand what you're saying in terms of how dense and uniquely detailed each of these characters are. Hence, because I was watching a documentary on why X-Men thrived at such a young age because of
Yeah.
the diversity of these characters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did you ever watch it?
Of course I did. No, 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 no.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
90s. I watched the 90s. So I watched the 90s cartoons.
I did too. Yeah.
And I was watching a documentary talking about the history of the comics and how it revolutionized and put Marvel on the map
Right. Yes.
because of the
Yeah.
diversity of the characters,
Yeah.
just like the way you described, like how the characterizations and how you actually got a really clear understanding on each of them, and they didn't just focus in their attention on like two characters like the Dragon Ball Z
Sorry.
does with,
Pardon me. Yeah, I'm listening.
like what Dragon Ball Z did with Goku and Vegeta. But then they had their most recent film, Superhero. But essentially, in X-Men, they gave like you got details on each stories of these characters, and then they
Facts. Yeah, facts. So hearing you say that, it also makes me think of when I first started watching it. I caught it on the episodes when it was about Jubilee discovering her like Fourth of July power or whatever, and she was like the troubled teen going through puberty, growing up, stuff like that, and she just wanted to be a kid, but you know she's changing. Like, who couldn't relate to that when you're young, growing up, going through puberty, crap like that? Everything's freaking awkward and weird, you know. Even the Phoenix episodes, when before it became the Dark Phoenix, Jean Grey attracted the Phoenix because of her deep or like compassionate nature and her ability to like feel life on so many different levels. And then Phoenix never been exposed to that before, being some creature that just lives out in the darkness of space. It was basically got high off that crap. You know, didn't want to leave. She's like, "What? What are these feelings? I ain't going home." What you mean, give up this body? Ain't nobody giving up this body. You made that up. So now X-Men was deep for me, definitely. And even like Spider-Man, smart guy, got his crap together, wants the hot girl, can't get her, has to become Spider-Man before he gets her, and then turns into this hot, like, mysterious man. And now all of a sudden, Mary Jane is like, "Oh, you're the hot guy." Yeah. Like, give me, like, dude, come on, man. This stuff is. Stan Lee was genius. Shout out to Stan Lee.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to share two things. So one thing that I like is I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with Spider-Man because like I hear rumors and this talk because there's conversation on Spider-Man 4 for Tom Holland, and then there's talk about Amazing Spider-Man 3 for Andrew Garfield because he never got his trilogy.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
And then they're also going to make a second into the Spider-Verse, the one with
Yes.
Miles Morales.
Okay, yeah. I heard that. Yeah, definitely. So I got to look into it because I didn't know all that was going on, but I'm definitely going to look into it. I didn't see.
This is just conversation, like what like rumors but they're definitely doing something moving forward with a Spider-Man film. That's basically.
Oh, no doubt, definitely, absolutely. Hollywood has been doing a lot of remakes. I noticed lately. So there's stuff in the works for sure, no doubt, absolutely. Let's check out this next Asylum video because I just sent it to you, but I didn't look at it too deep. But again, you know, another creepy one for the can.
Which one exactly is it? Is it this one here,
that one? Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, this one.
Okay, so let's see here.
Can we actually play it with sound because I want to hear what they're saying.
Sure. Okay, so just give me a minute. That way I can.
No problem.
Put it from the top, and then I can also like I'm learning that I can zoom in this screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So 3, 2, 1.
So yeah, I'm reading it as it's going. I don't hear the sound. That's okay, but do you hear it?
My bad. You know what else?
No,
I was I was trying to raise the volume, but it's between the arrows here.
no,
So
no,
we
that's
ended
fine.
up
Yeah, I
like
know.
somewhere here.
Okay.
All right. Because I don't know if you can see like every I'm trying to raise it, but it's just
Yeah,
between
yeah, I can
these
see your
freaking.
mouse. Yeah, I can see your cursor.
That's better. All right. All right. So oh, this is like the end. So let me. I think here's good.
A little further back, maybe.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, there's still no sound for me, but do you hear it?
Yes. Yes.
You
So I'm
can?
sorry if. So I'm sorry if you're not able to hear it. At least we can listen, watch it, and then still comment on it.
Yeah, so basically, this is just a place I probably would definitely go with somebody during the day. The only thing that freaks me out a little bit about these places is they're so old. I just wonder, how do some of these people go to these places and they're not scared of like the floor caving in while they're walking around? Or I've seen some where they will go to a place like this by themselves. They're not worried about getting hurt or slipping, falling, bleeding out. I don't know. I would only go to these places if I was in a group. I wouldn't go by myself. That's the only thing that
Um,
surprises me about it.
Valid, yeah. Two
Drinking
two things I was going to share
tea, by
with
the
that
way.
because
This is tea, everybody. It's tea. I like big cups of tea. It's not booze.
you don't know how many times in meetings I have a bottle and I'm like, I wonder if anyone thinks it's something that besides just sparkling water because
Oh
that's really what
man.
it is.
All the time. I get that all the time. What are you drinking? Yeah, I really showed up with a big cup of vodka, of course. Yeah, sure I did.
So 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 yes, I was seeing a girl briefly in when I was at LaGuardia Community College, and she would go to Pennsylvania every now and then, and she talked about this place, and she would tell me that
This place right here?
yes,
Oh
because
wow.
this place is famous in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Like they have like a second home, like a vacation home or whatever. And
Okay.
ever since that time, they would get like these supernatural activity, like in their house or whatever.
Mm,
Or like like sometimes you might feel like cold chills or something because
yes.
that's
Yeah.
another thing that I hear. And this is an example of maybe people like who are unique like us in terms of sometimes because of our mentality being different, it creates us to be sensitive creatures
Yes.
that can also attract, for example, spirits.
Yes. Yeah. 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 They. I definitely do believe they pick up on it and they can sense when we are aware of them being around. And I'm speaking from my own lived experience. I mean, yeah, definitely.
So the reason why I'm sharing this is because she would tell me that these like spirits. So I'm like, I'm already adding it like, oh, it must be that the spirit because they went like a couple of teenagers. Oh, I'm not afraid of ghosts. Let's go to the asylum. Nothing's gonna happen. And then maybe one or two ends up having a spirit follow them home, and then from there it's like a never-ending story of these weird scenarios that come through with them.
Yeah. So I remember when I went home from Waverly, I was sitting at the table with my mom and my sister. And you know how when you have a cold glass of water, condensation will build up on the outside and it gets moist. It forms around the base of the glass. Dude, so I'm sitting at the kitchen table telling him about my day tour of Waverly. My sister is like across from me. My mom is to my left. And I kid you not, the glass on the table, it spins around and then it slides across the table. And all three of us were just quiet for a minute. And then I think it was my mom. I don't remember which one. one of them was like, "Did you bring something home with you?" And the other one then said, "I think he definitely did." And that was the only thing that happened. Nothing else happened after that. But I do remember the whole time I was driving home, I kept looking in the back seat because I felt like something was there. And man, when that glass,
Trippy. That's
it
trippy.
was hell yeah, it was no just shit. We were I don't know if I can curse on here, but it freaked me out because I've seen a glass will slide every now and then. You tip a table when it's wet and all that, but dude, the glass spun and then slit. Like nothing else happened after that. No weird like feelings or anything else in the house. Just that one, and it was right after I got home. So I feel like something rode home with me, but
I
it
want
didn't bother.
I want to leave this moment to give anyone who's had experience like this and leave a comment and
Hell
share.
yeah, leave us a comment. Share that crap. I love hearing about that kind of stuff. For me, I'm not even kidding. You got people out there who doubt, fine. You got people who don't believe, whatever, no problem. I respect it. I have had enough experiences to where I know the stuff is real.
I,
The
I'll,
stuff
I'll
is real.
I'll add to what you're sharing. So I had a Filipino friend
Yeah.
from high school. Her sister told me of her supernatural experiences. For example, she would share how there would be this old lady spirit. By the way, can you hear the? I have a guest. Can you hear that stuff?
Yeah, I hear the banging. I
Mm.
just thought maybe your house was haunted too.
No, I gotta like, because that's the thing with having guests. I don't have. Hold on. Maybe this would be better. I'm hoping it would be less.
Oh, sorry. Hey, it
Would
happens.
this would this sound like less sound from there?
I mean, for now, if I hear something, I'll let you know.
No, it's just I can't like. Anyways, because it's so back to what I was saying. The sister would talk about how there would be a spirit of an old woman in their
Yeah.
house, and only the sister would see this.
Mm,
And she's an older woman. She's older than us, so
yeah.
and she would talk about how there would be times where she'd be laying in bed and then she'd see like the ghost or a spirit like come like reaching for her from the bed, and I was like, what? and
Creepy.
and how sometimes through the mirrors of like like the reflection of the frames,
Yeah.
right? So like I have these two frames here.
Yeah.
She would sometimes be able to spot like a shadow or like of like that same woman like
Mm,
just hovering through the frames.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's trippy. I would be fearful if I had an old woman going and it was a ghost.
Yeah. So when I lived in California, the apartment that we lived in there, everybody knew that we had some spirit that had lived in that apartment because he made himself known, and his name was John. My mom had got out of the shower once, and the bathroom was steamed up, and I needed to use the restroom. So she comes out, she goes in the room, close the door. I use the restroom. I look in the mirror, and the name John is written in the mirror. And when she's dressed and everything, she comes out and asks her. So I'm like I told you I'm Muslim, so we call our moms or Umi. So I say to her, Umi, who's John? And she's like, what? I'm like, who's John? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I told her it's written in the mirror. She comes and looks in the mirror, and she was like, I don't know, I didn't write that. You didn't write that? I told her, no, I didn't write that. But then after that, it's so funny because from my experience, it's like they make themselves known first. They want you to know they're there, and then after that, crap start happening. Middle of the night, bedroom door slams, freaking table like shifts, stack of dishes on the counter, they go flying off. And one of my sisters, you could say, is like pretty clairvoyant. You could say,
I'm
like
getting
me
chills
and
listening to this.
huh?
I'm getting chills listening to this.
I know, right? Everybody's man. It's I've gotten used to talking about this stuff over the years because I encounter a lot of people like, I don't believe you. At this point, I don't need you to believe me. Now I'm not talking about you, but I mean like people out there like that. It's totally fine that you don't. So one of my sisters who's really, really sensitive, and I'm pretty empathic myself. She has a dream, and in the dream, there was someone who died in the apartment, and we did a little bit of research, from before we had lived there. Mind you, we had lived there already for maybe like a good 7 months. Someone had passed away in the apartment in her bedroom, and his name was John.
That is so weird. Like, because like now that brings in the conversation of like where they say like ghosts are trapped in the like the limbo and the in between, like because.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm listening.
Hope that's not.
It's my phone.
I was gonna say, hope that's not John.
I hope the hell he didn't follow me already in New York. Like, bro, come on, man. Seriously. Go home, dude.
This sense of, because what I understand on like Ghost Hunters, it's all about unfinished business.
Yeah, good point.
Like they still have something to communicate to whoever is left behind, like some message or something, you know? And
yeah.
Then, like, so.
Well, he wasn't bad or anything. He wasn't mean. Like, after he made himself known, we lived with him for a good 6 or 7 years. And it was fine. You know, I'd be in my room sleeping in bed or something. I hear something in the backup behind me, and I just be like, John, I'm not in the mood, dude. And sure enough, it would stop. Like, he literally became part of the family.
So if any of those that can relate to ArtMan99 story, like, please leave a comment.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, man. He wasn't bad. I think he just wanted us to know he was there. I used to play with him sometimes, actually, in my room.
This is like, instead of Casper the Friendly Ghost, this is like John, Muhammad's neighbor, or he's part of the house. You know, it's just some of them. Wow.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, my real name is Muhammad, but I just go by ArtMan99. So
I didn't mean to spoil. Sorry, ArtMan99.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It's so I was gonna say, you remember in The Shining? Did you ever read the original Shining with Jack Nicholson?
One of my favorite.
My number one favorite movie. I fall asleep to that some nights. And so when Danny is playing, don't you laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Don't judge me.
Anybody leave a like if they sleep the same as ArtMan99. I can't sleep to that because there's the music, the soundtrack in there.
It's so creepy, but it's so good. So I was gonna say those scenes when Danny is playing in the halls and the ball rose to him. John would roll the ball to me sometime. Damn. Yeah, John used to.
That's some next level stuff.
You know what it is though, but seriously though, because of some of the stuff I endured in childhood, and my mom was a single mom raising us by herself, I was lonely at times, and I think John picked up on it, and so that's kind of like Danny not being afraid of the twins when he first encounters them or other things, or like any kid in any horror movie, they're usually not too afraid. I was only scared when I saw the name John on the bathroom mirror, but after that and I saw he wasn't like anything bad or to be afraid of. That's what I can say. Like, I started playing with him a little bit.
He's trying to be seen, or trying to be like just known, that like acknowledged.
Yeah. Some of them are definitely evil entities, but not all of them are bad. Like, there'd be nights when I'd be in my bed, and I knew when John was in the closet. I knew he was. You know, I remember nights when I'd see the closet door come open a little bit. I see you laughing and smiling, but
it's because some of those people that maybe like, say we just skipped out of nowhere, and then we come to this part, they're like, what? John in the what? Who's John? And then they would have to rewind. That's what I was thinking of. Like, people would not understand.
Good point. No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, what? What the hell? Sleeping in your bed, John? Yeah, no, I feel you. I think John had some unfinished business. I think he had some unfinished business. Yeah.
And I wanted to add and relate because my mother, single mother, and she would ask me if I always wanted a brother. But my response was, yeah, I want an older brother. Mm-hmm. And then she'd be like, how am I going to do that?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, the kids in the block don't want to play with me because they keep picking on me and I keep coming home in tears. So I want an older brother to kick all their asses whatever,
Yeah.
as a little kid, whatever. It's just
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's hard when you're a kid, and I was the youngest, and I was the youngest of four others. So, and I was like that kid that was the youngest and a kid, but the most responsible. So when everybody else was doing their thing and I was watching them, they were teaching me what road led where, and I kind of knew what not to do to get in trouble. And because my mom was by herself raising her, I was hyper aware and hyper mature to where I was that kid that was thinking, how can I make this easier for her to help her out? And going back to John, I think John saw that, and that's why he would play with me sometimes. I mean, it was nothing crazy. It was just like he'd roll the ball to me. Sometimes I'd roll it back to him. I couldn't see him. It was nothing like I could see him, but I could feel him there. And I could definitely roll the ball to the end of the hallway, go into the kitchen, come back. The ball would be where I was last sitting. I knew it was John. It didn't scare me, So,
and I wanted to add, because so you're sharing like a positive aspect of being the youngest. Like if everyone older than you would be supportive, what you would gain, the wisdom you would gain out of that.
yeah.
Whereas I took the other road where I ended up having to eventually later on learn, because of like there's just things in school that we're not taught. Anyways, the other side of it is just self-independence. Just learn on your own, which is what a lot of other people will do. They'll go into solitude and they'll just go on this like kung fu, like where the guy just walks on his own.
Yeah.
And adding to what you were sharing, because I can relate to. So I am one of nine firstborn generation.
You're 9? There's 9 of you?
I'll finish that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Between my mother and my 2 uncles, there's 9 of us that are firstborn American-born generation.
Okay.
So, yeah, I always have to elaborate on that. So the youngest one. So shout out to Julian. I mean, he's a young kid, but
shout out Julian.
He is like on your like how I see you, like got the benefit of all of us, because there are times where I wouldn't say I bully him on purpose. It's just sometimes he's annoying. Like you gotta remind some kids to you gotta put them in their place. Like sometimes I'm like, stop hitting me, stop playing. Like,
yeah,
you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. I'm not gonna go crying to your mom. I'm not gonna go tell your dad Julian hit me. I'm gonna hit you back. So stop. And he knows, but
yeah.
He's a tough kid, and there are times where I'm envious and jealous of him because I know I didn't get any of that. But then at the same time, I'm like, I still teach this kid stuff, because he always like ask for me and what's up, Chris, and always joke around, and he just feeds off like a sponge. Like that's what happens when you're the youngest one. You just soak up anything you can from like everyone that's older. Hence, when you were sharing with me, like it made you more aware.
It did
at a younger age.
It did. It definitely did. And the downfall that so this is something I could definitely say, and I hope this helps anybody out there who might be struggling to understand it. Anytime something becomes really clear to me, I try to get somebody else to understand. So hopefully I can save them time and years from having to figure it out. But when you are the youngest or wherever you are, and you're the most mature one, you get ignored sometimes because the parent or the parents will say, that's the good kid. We don't have to worry about them. They're going to be fine. They're going to find their way. They're chasing after the troublemakers in the family and the ones that are constantly in trouble. And that's for people who are struggling with, why didn't I get enough attention or love? It's because you didn't make any trouble. You were the good kid. And for parents out there who think they don't need to pay that much attention to the good kid, you don't have to chase behind them because they're always waiting for you. That's why we didn't make any trouble. We just wanted your attention. We didn't want you to chase us. That's why we were always there. So if I would tell parents anything, maybe make sure you make time for the kid you never have to chase after, Like that's literally what happens.
I like that.
Yeah.
I even want to add to that because I have a similar but yet different take on
Please do share. Definitely. I'm loving it.
so mine is that even though I am the oldest, I there's this big gap because oftentimes when I'm with like my aunt and uncle, I was always just right dead center because then it would be all of the kids
Yeah.
and then all of the adults, but I'm right in the center because the adults are like 15 and older than me, and then the kids are like 10 and younger, or like say 8 years. So there's this. So I'm in the center of this,
Okay.
and in the beginning it was very hard for me because I'm like I can't relate to all of them that much. So like you say, you can be the youngest one, and so this is something I struggle with, like because I have wisdom, but people um, disregard me because I'm younger or I look
Yeah.
younger than I appear. But then as
Uh-huh.
soon as they engage with me and they have these like long conversations, they realize like, wow, this person like I'm able to converse, I'm able to listen, I'm able to add
Yeah.
into the conversation, and then they just impress their surprise. Like I just threw them off guard.
Exactly. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's 100% true. People, it seems as though no matter how much time passes in our world, people will not learn to stop making assumptions. They won't stop. I'm a firm believer in giving a person a chance. And in my experience in this world, you're going to show me who you are. So I don't need to assume anything. All I need to do is sit back, wait, and watch. You can't help yourself. Even if you try to hide for a little while, it's going to come out. And I'm going to see it. And I'm going to know. So I give everyone a chance at first. And if there's consistency in your manners, your character, your decency, your respect, then I'm going to start believing you are who you say you are. But it usually doesn't last very long before another side comes out because you can't hide who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, like something I've had to learn is because I've had to practice eye contact. Like it's almost like to learn to just talk to the person without looking away, because I've had experience where when I'm having these conversations with certain people, the moment I ask them a question and they don't want to answer it, they look away. So I know that question they're not comfortable with answering. So they're
Yeah.
not they even sometimes they even turn.
Well, I've learned from my experience that sometimes that's a sign of, well, like you said, discomfort. And sometimes it's definitely discomfort, but sometimes a person doesn't want to share too much because they realize you know more than what they thought you knew, or they realize you're a little bit more in tune than what they thought you were. You know, again, it's a different level of us assuming. You assumed I was more naive than you thought.
I'm gonna correct you out of respect. It's having being keen and shrewd. Those are the abilities that we possess more than others. Instead of assuming, because assuming is like a it's almost like a generalization, you know.
Okay.
But what we have is we have an ability, and that's being keen and shrewd because we're able to pick up signs and signals like body language. That's what like
There we
oh
go. Okay, right. I'm with you 100%. I agree with you. Yes, read it, body language, intuitive. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, you're right. Assuming does sound pretty negative. You definitely said it a lot better. The way you're saying it is exactly what I mean. We're in tune.
and if anything, a better word would be guessing. Just sharing like
Or
other.
empathic. You know, we feel vibes. We feel. I think because of what we've been through, it's our survival mechanism. It's our survival instinct kicking in because I don't know about you, but aren't you just kind of tired of like some of the negative experiences sometimes? Yeah, me too. It's just like I'm kind of tired, you know. Like
I,
if I can feel a person is going to be bringing drama when it's not necessary, I'm sometimes just kind of like I don't want to deal with it. I don't like the way we're talking. I prefer to deal with someone who can just talk and communicate with me rather than the drama. Like I'm just not into it, man.
yes. So there's two things I was going to share. So adding to what you're sharing, like one thing I know is not to respond, because
Yeah.
responding is like entertaining it. So
Yes.
it's almost like um, or even not even paying attention, because it does one of two things, like not responding.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just need to get it out of their system,
Yeah.
because it's like they're venting to us.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. I don't mind venting.
And then the other one is by ignoring it, it almost makes us show them that we're not accepting the behavior that they're doing right now.
Yeah, that's it. Nicely said. Very nicely said. That's exactly what I do. I'm not going to entertain the behavior. I'm not. Um, yeah, I'm not going to entertain it. Someone reminded me of something a few weeks ago when I was writing an article for someone, and when I was done having the interaction with them, I was so drained because none of it was necessary, and I kind of just felt like I was dealing with an adult child. Not to put them down in that way, but um,
I can
you know,
relate. There are adult childs. There are men in their
okay,
40s that don't take full responsibilities. I get it.
exactly. So this person, complete adult child, and I was talking to somebody else who was standing on the side observing everything, and when it was over, they saw how drained I was, and they were like, you know what? Sometimes people are so used to that and the drama that they don't know how to interact with someone who may be more mature than or grown up. It sounds kind of negative, but you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes, because it's almost like they're so used to being in that energy, like that negative energy.
Exactly.
And once they meet someone that's, say, on the positive, that's on a different frequency,
Yes.
they sometimes what they'll do is they just keep over with the negative, to hoping that you will match, or the person with the positive will match their negative. But
Right.
it's like you're just gonna you're staying at your frame, like you
I'm
said, like
staying here. I'm
you're
not
not,
moving.
yeah, you're not taking that negative energy, like you're.
No, I'm cutting it off. I'm done. I don't have time for this. Like, there was a time and a place for it. I went through it and I passed it, and I'm not going back for you. Like, I'm not. There's people. I understand. Even as adults, grown-ups, whatever age we are, we all have a little child in us. I do. I'm proud of mine. I love my inner kid. Like, I'm always nurturing him, and we have that sometimes in adulthood. I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, brain surgeon, whatever these high successful fields are considered. We all have a little moment of like a little whininess or a little playfulness, and to me that's fine, that's healthy. Like, I don't mind that. But when I'm in front of someone who's a full-on like adult child nonstop, I'm not judging, but I see it and I just don't. I'm already
Yes.
past. I'm already past. Like, that's why I like what you do. You do the coaching, and you have a title for it. And I find that a lot of people do that with me also. Like, Chris, I'm not even kidding you, man. There are days when I'm walking around and I'm thinking, why do so many people make me their therapist? Like, why? Why do I become so many people's therapist and I'm not even trying to? I have people literally calling me their therapist. Like, that's so and so. He's my therapist. I'm
What
like,
I would
I'm. Go ahead.
There's three things I want to say now.
Yeah,
Three
yeah.
things now. Now I had two things. One, start charging these people,
That's what I
uh,
said.
no, really, because two things. One, it's freeloading, and two, at least if you're gonna be dealing with that, you're gonna get paid for it. And also, once you start throwing money, how many of those people are gonna walk away? So that's my recommendation, and I would say $25 an hour. If
Facts.
so, just do that.
It's funny you say that. So, like, one of my friends who lives out of state, he took 2 hours of my life. I'm not gonna get back. Why I gave it to him, I don't even know. But I told him, next time you call me, hold me on the phone like this, it's gonna be $25 an hour. That's not what I told him. It's gonna be 25 an hour. He hasn't called back.
You see, yes,
He hasn't called
exactly.
back.
And now, and then excellent. And then adding to what you're saying, I'm taking that in now. Like, good, I'm taking that in, because back to the positive and the negative. There are energy drainers, vampires, bloodsuckers, and then
Yeah.
there's other people that fuel people, motivate, uplift.
Yes, and that's how I get stuck into it because I've been through a lot. I've survived a lot. I'm still going. Um, not in a egotistical I'm going to say in a humble way.
We it's your role. It's just something it's like you're born with or you grew into.
Yeah, but I was going to say I'm proud that it's not judging anyone, but for everything that's happened, I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic or a drunk. And I'm just proud that I've been able to go through what I've been through and come out not being any of those things. And I say that because I know so many people that struggle with that. And if there's one thing I want to learn, if I'm able to, I believe I'm able to, if not now in time, how can I get them to see, dude, the drinking's not helping. The drinking's not helping. It's not going to make anything better. If anything, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're drugging. And with marijuana becoming so widespread legal now, everybody's running to it to escape from life rather than dealing with it with a sober mind and facing it head on. And I'm not knocking anyone for your recreational time, but when it's a thing that I see you 3 days in a row and you're high, dude, you're not dealing with life now, man. You're not dealing with life. And it's not good. So, but I've also learned that from trying, some people are just not going to get it. They're not going to get it. They're going to have to figure it out on their own, and that's fine. That's fine. But
now there's still now I had one more thing I wanted to share. Now I got another one.
Go. Give it to me.
Okay, so I also have to invite you on the other channel where I have a mental health practitioner where we talk more about mental health.
Right on. I know about that one.
So
wait, do I? I think I know about it, right?
It's called wecoachmentalhealth.com. I would definitely want to put you on.
Oh, I don't know that one. Okay.
Because these are still useful things in relation to mental health.
Okay, right on.
That we can all talk about. And then the second thing is piggyback off of what you're saying, kid self. So I understand there's 3 versions of us. There's our kid self.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it comes out in every one of us. It just depends on, like, sometimes it can be the bad self, like the whining and the one just not taking responsibility. Yeah. And sometimes that other kid self is just the part of you that makes you happy and that keeps you young and like playing. And
that's the one I like. That's the one I like. That's the one I'm all about nurturing. That side, I would say never let that side go. Always keep breathing life into them. Always. I've learned that. That crap keeps you young. That keeps you young. Never let them go. Never let them go. The whiny one, you got to put your foot on a little bit. But there's the other one you're talking about. He keeps you young, no doubt.
Yes. So that's when you have to know a balance of the other two. There's your present self, and then there's your old man self, or your elder self. Those are the 3.
Well, see, I think that was my old man self right there, coming out about like the drinking's not going to help you because the smoking's not going to help you. That's definitely the old man self. Because when I say that to some people, they're just like, "Oh man, you acting like you're 50."
Because we all have 3 versions. Just how many of us like now? I'm going to play with what you're saying. So there's the wise elder version of us.
Yeah.
And then the negative would be like the one that has excuses, like, "Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I feel old," or "No, I can't," like like they just negative and naggy or whatever.
Yeah. It's like my bones hurt.
They limit themselves.
Yeah.
But
pardon me. I got allergies, man.
Anyways, Muhammad, it's 10:20 and I don't even know how long this episode has been. So it's been an hour and 10 minutes. So we're gonna close it here. So
okay, right on.
So this is what I like to do. So much value. I just like my guests to do like a leave a statement. So maybe you're. I'm thinking the last statement I would like for you to do probably would be just to share where we can find you again.
Okay, so YouTube is Foggy Nights. TikTok, it's ArtMan99, and
slow. Say them
a little slower.
Say them slowly so that people can write them down and all.
Okay, all right. So on YouTube, we've got Foggy Nights. Hopefully, when we do this again, we'll have the logo picture that I use up, so people will know it and they'll be able to find it. It's going to be the same throughout social media and wherever. So it's Foggy Nights on YouTube. it's horror stories, and that might change up over time, but for now it's horror stories. Uploading schedule is a little behind and sporadic.
Social media, like next one.
TikTok, ArtMan99, and ArtMan99 underscore 2. IG, ArtMan99 underscore IG. TikTok, ArtMan99.
Awesome. And if any of you guys missed it, I also left it in the descriptions. So just in case. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good night,
All
everyone.
right. Peace.